Welcome to the GridML training videos. In this video I'm going to show you step-by-step how to load an unpublished draft MISMO schema into GridML. One of the advantages of being a MISMO member is that you have early access to unpublished schemas, and they provide a website that's available only to MISMO members for doing that. So I'm going to show you that part of the process also. I'm going to go into the collaborate.mismo.org website, and then from there the draft schemas are always in the architecture community. So I'm going to bring up that list of communities. Here's architecture workgroup, and from there I picked library, and the folder we want is in reference models, and underneath that is builds. If I click on that, the next version of MISMO is going to be 3.6, so I'm going to click on that and then view. This brings up a list of the interim draft builds that have been published so far. The most recent one is build 353, so I'm going to click download, and that's going to drop that in my downloads directory. I pay for high-speed internet access, but sometimes it's not always high speed as they advertise, so this will take a few seconds. Once the zip file or the download is complete, we need to unzip the file into a folder. So here it's created the zip file. I'm going to right click on that, and I use WinZip, but you can use any unzipping routine that you have. And here it creates a folder. Once it's done that, then we're ready to go into GridML. I'm demonstrating using the free version of GridML, which only allows one schema to be loaded at a time. If you have one of the pay versions, you can have as many schemas as you want. I'm going to click on Setup Schemas. I could either click this button or the Setup button, either one. So it brings me into my default repository. I'm going to click the button that says Add XML Schema. It brings up a window that says drag and drop the folder that contains your schema files into the box below. So I'll bring up my window that has the folder that we unzipped. I'm going to drag that into the window. And MISMO schemas are split into two files. They're zip files in two folders. One is for the logical data dictionary. The second folder is the one we want, which is for the reference model. So I click the little arrow. It shows me the contents of that file. The next part of the prompt says select the primary file for your schemas, which for MISMO schemas is always the one that has the name MISMO followed by the version number. It's MISMO 3.6. I click next. GridML checks that the file is valid and all the references are valid, and that you can tell all MISMO schemas are always going to be valid. You can see all the checkboxes, green checkboxes. Next we click Add to Repository, and GridML uploads from my local hard drive into their servers, which also takes a few seconds, especially if you have slower internet like I do today. It will bring up a folder. It says MISMO 3.6. I select which root element or elements that I want. I can either pick one or more than one. I'm going to pick deal because that's where most of the data that I usually work with is in. And from there I can select view or search. I'm going to click view, and GridML puts it into the browser, brings the schema data into the browser for faster viewing and searching. And here we can see we have MISMO 3.6, the deal element, and here are the children element under there. And there's other videos that show you in more detail the features of GridML that you can use for viewing or searching. But that's it for how you would download an unpublished draft from the MISMO website.